Hi everyone, John here from All Miniatures Great and Small, and today we're going to be doing another list overview, this time for Flames of War. We're going to be looking at the 21st Panzer Division Assault Gun Company. So this is going to be featured in an upcoming battle report on our Patreon. If you're interested in seeing this in action, go ahead and check that out. But in this video, we're going to be talking about list building, some thoughts behind the choices I'm making, as well as kind of what options the 21st Panzer brings to the table. Now, first and foremost, I'm going to say that this is not built with an eye towards tournaments or competitive play. This is going up against a historical kind of battle. We're going to be facing British, which is what the 21st Panzer primarily faced in Normandy. So we're trying to do a historical themed list as opposed to an all-comers tournament cutthroat list. I don't think this particular formation is necessarily suited for tournaments, but that's probably a discussion for another time. All right, so what is in this formation? We're going to start with the core of the formation, and that is a single 7.5 centimeter assault gun. These ones all have AT-12. The assault guns only have front armor 2, so they're pretty weak, but they are hard to hit. They are hit on 4s. You have an HQ of one of these. You have 2 additional platoons of the same tank, so you've got 7 total, 2 platoons of 3. Then also in the core formation, you have 1 mandatory platoon of 10.5 centimeter Hotchkiss assault guns. So these ones are kind of dual purpose. They can direct fire as well as a artillery bombardment at AT-3, 3-up firepower with smoke. The brutal gun can also in direct fire, have a good chance of knocking out infantry and gun teams. So that's pretty good. Rounding out the core formation, we have a unit of 4 of the 2 centimeter anti-aircraft vehicles. So these guys aren't too bad. I can consider them kind of an anchor unit. I don't see a lot of air in Flames of War, but it is nice to have it. But also, more importantly, it gives my core formation an additional an additional unit. So I have 5 units in my core formation. You have to test, or your formation is broken if you get down to 1 unit. So my opponent only needs to kill 4 of these 5 core units to basically win the game automatically. So hopefully I'm fighting and attacking with my Hotchkiss assault guns. I can keep my AA safe, and that keeps my formation on the table, hopefully. So that's the plan. So that's the core formation. That comes to a little over 40 points for that. Then outside of the formation, let's start with the artillery park. So I've got 2 artillery units outside of the formation, starting with the Lorraine Schlepp 10.5 centimeter, basically the same gun, a little bit different than what's in the Hotchkiss assault gun, but also anti-tank 3 plus firepower, so not bad at digging out infantry and gun teams. The second unit is the 15 centimeter. So that trades versus the 10.5, that trades the ability to fire smoke and instead gets you better firepower. So it's a 2 plus firepower. Still anti-tank 3, but a 2 plus firepower. So, it's pretty likely you're going to kill anything that fails its saving throw, like infantry and gun teams when they are dug in, which is nice, which is what you want. Then we also have a platoon of scout cars. Now these are, you're going to have to forgive me, I got to cheat because I never remember the numbers. This is made up of a SD KFZ 231. That's the 8-wheeled Puma looking tank. It has a 2 centimeter gun on it, as well as a machine gun. And then also the little 4-wheeled cars, they are different. There's a KFZ 221, which has a 2.8 centimeter gun, and a KFC 222, which has a 2 centimeter gun. So one of them has a 2.8 centimeter gun, and one of them has a 2 centimeter gun, which is a little bit of firepower, but primarily this gives the force a spearhead if the mission calls for it, as well as, you know, a flanking unit, something to cause trouble or keep in the backfield to protect your vulnerable stuff from infantry or stuff like that. Also, I've got a Panzer Grenadier platoon, and they are riding in the I think, very cool looking U-304 half tracks. These are again captured French vehicles that were converted by the Germans. The half track itself is not nowhere near as good as the German version. It's just slower. It's tactical of 8, so the half track only goes as fast as the infantry goes. So you keep that in mind. It's not as fast as a normal German half track. The Panzer Grenadiers themselves are pretty bog standard. They are all MG 42 teams. Not too bad there. And then last but not least, we have a platoon of 3 Panzer IVs. So this brings the list to 99 points. The Panzer IV gives me some better armor. They have a front armor of 6, which is not great, but at least it's equal to most Shermans and Cromwells and things that it's going to face. With a anti-tank 11, it does a pretty good job threatening Shermans, for example, which only has an AT of 10. So typically they are a little bit better in a one-on-one duel versus a Sherman. But otherwise, that's it. This comes to 99 points as you see it here, and then you got an extra point to take your lucky card, which I say don't leave home without it. So this force is, I think it's going to be good. I don't think it's going to be good for defending. Possibly it could, but when you got to put 40% of this force off the table, you're looking at, at least three platoons. The Panzer IVs, probably one of the assault gun platoons, and let's see, what else would you hold off? Maybe the HQ or something like that. But you're going to have to make some sacrifices, and at least 3 or 4 platoons are going to sit out. So I think I might fish for attack with these guys. I have enough smoke with two of these 3 artillery units can lay smoke bombardment, so that's good. And if I can get in a good position, with spearhead, I think these assault guns can do it. Now, the assault guns themselves, they aren't going to be assaulting anyone off objectives. Assault guns, open-top vehicles are not great for assault. But the infantry is pretty tough, and if you can protect them until the actual assault occurs, it's pretty good. Also, the other thing to keep in mind is you do outrange most Allied things. Like a Sherman or Cromwell's main gun is 28 inches on the table, whereas these 7.5 centimeters are 32 inches. So you do have, a little bit of range where you can outrange your opponent, which is nice. Don't underestimate that ability. But overall, I'm looking forward to taking this. This was mostly the contents of that 21st Panzer box set that I unboxed a couple weeks ago. I think if you'd wanted to, you could probably drop one of the artillery units and the Panzer IVs and maybe go with some Tigers, which would also be historical, Tiger support, or if you wanted to play this more defensively, maybe drop the Panzer IVs and add some 88s. But that's going to be kind of up to you. Also, you might be able to play with dual formations, maybe not so much support, and take 2 of these kind of powerful assault gun companies. But that's kind of up to you guys. So there you go. That's kind of a look at list building and some of my thoughts behind it. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Have you guys taken the 21st Panzer to a tournament? If so, how'd you do? I'm really curious. All right, guys. As always, thanks for watching, and keep on gaming.